Hey, hi, hello guys. I am Dilip Kumar Patil, your social science teacher. In today's class, we will be discussing about sociology. From sociology part, we will going to learn about the chapter 1, which is a family. Okay. When we talk about family, there is a lot to know and a lot to discuss about this particular thing. Okay. So after completion of this particular chapter, you will going to learn the meaning of the family, what do you mean by particular family, characteristics of a family, and types of families exist in India, and the characteristics of a joint family. Okay, so these points we will going to learn one by one throughout our today's lecture. So the family, when we say family, man has formed many social institutions to fulfill his basic needs. Basically, man, he is a social animal, and he cannot live without society. Okay. So, to live happy and healthy life, he need a family and he need a support of a society. Okay. So that's why he can't able to live without a society. So living in a society is the basic need of every member of the society, and this particular family is one of the institution, okay, where all the members of the that particular institution live together and they perform many of the rituals, many of the traditions, and many more things. So all the activities of the society are conducted on the basis of the family. Okay. So whatever the activities we are conducting in a society. So when we talk about society, society is a group of families again. Okay. Society, it's a group of families. So uh, these particular families forms the a society, and the activities related to the societies are based on the families. Okay. The members of the family are the members of the social institutions also. As I told you, these different families makes a society, so the members of the family are the members of social institutions also. Okay. So throughout this class we will learn about the family and its members and types of families and many more things. So how this particular word family has arrived. The word family is derived from a Latin word famulus. So it is the family, it is derived from the Latin word. The Latin word is famulus, which means to serve. So by this, we can come to know that there were also other members along with the father, mother, and children in the ancient families. Okay. So this particular word family, it has derived from the Latin word, that is famulus, and which means to serve. The basic work of the family is to serve. Today the other members are not the family members. Okay, so what happens here, so whatever the families today we are saying and you people are saying, okay, for you it might be, if when we are talking about family you may think like family means you and your father and mother, that's it. Okay, and your brother and sisters, whatever you are having. Okay, so that is not the family in the ancient times. Okay, when they were talking about families, it was the a joint family, they're supposed to talk where grandfather, father, children's, grandchildren's, okay, all they were living together under a single roof. So that was the concept of Indian families. Okay. So, but in recent days, due to this modernization and all these things, so nuclear families have increased in our India. Okay. Nuclear families, a small family with 4 to 5 members living under a single roof. Okay. Again, now families which have no children but have only a father and mother, and families that have adopted children are also there. In a society, you will find families where the couples who are not having their own children, they might be taking the adopted kids, so that also forms the family. And there are couples, okay, who are living together for a long period, but they are not having their own children. So that type of families also we can see nowadays in this society. Okay. So if I move further again, okay, when we discuss about the family, the relationship of the family members is determined by the kinship. Okay. So the relationship among the family members, it is determined by the blood relations what we are having. The family includes a marriage, kinship, and adoption. So when we talk about the family, it also includes the marriages, it also includes about the blood relations. If any couple is not having the uh, kid, so he can go for the adoption of children's. These family members live under in the same house according to their status. As I told you, the members of the family, they live under a single roof according to their status, like husband and wife, father mother, son daughter relationship, brother sister relationship, perform their role to create the culture. Okay. So whatever the role they are playing in the family, so they create a culture, okay, the societal culture. Yeah. So how a husband and wife should be, how a father and mother should be, how the son and daughter should be, how a brother sister relationship. Okay. So all these things, these are all the mod. Okay. This makes or this creates the culture. Family means, okay, so here he in this sentence he tries to give the meaning to the family. Okay. So if they ask what do you mean by family, you have to write this one. Okay. So family means the living together of husband and wife with their children. Okay. Living together of husband, wife, and a children, or sometimes without a children, and for a long time. So this makes the meaning of your family. Okay. So what are the points we have to remember here is the living together of husband and wife with children, or without children for long time. Okay, long time is one of the term. And living together of husband and wife with children or without children, that is the second part. And for a long time, that is also one of the important term which we have to remember while writing the meaning to the family. So the main base of the family is the kinship. As I told you, the main foundation, the main base for the family is kinship, the blood relationship what we are having. Okay, father, mother, their children's, grandchildren, they are having the kinship, they are having the blood relationship, and the emotions related to it. The members who shares their blood relations, who shares their kinship, they are having the attached emotions with that. Okay, a grandfather and granddaughter, and father with a daughter, okay, son with the mother, they're having the strong emotions. Okay, so related to that particular status, like husband and wife, father, mother, mother, daughter, father, son, like this, whatever the relations they are having, based on that. Yeah. So emotions are also related to the family. Okay, the blood one is the blood relationship, and second one is emotions, that is also related to the family. Apart family, apart from nurturing the children and procreation, sorry, involves itself in the process of socialization of its members. Okay. So that they can become a part of larger society. Okay. So when we talk about the family, the responsibility of family is not only the nurturing the children, okay, helping them to get growth, okay, that and it involves that particular, the family members responsibility involves socializing socialization of its members. Okay, so the members of family, they should learn to live and okay, be in a society. Okay, how you will behave with the societal members. Okay, so that thing they have to learn, so become the larger societies. Okay, when they learn all this socialization process, they become the a part of a larger society. It means that the family directs the social behavior, family directs the dressing, rituals, and other issues of its members. Okay, so the family plays very vital role, okay, in the keeping the right direction towards their family members. Okay, so the members, they will learn from their ancestors or their elders from the family. Okay, so they will learn the social behavior, how their parents are, how their elders are behaving with the society, how they are dressing themselves, okay, what type of dress they are wearing, and what type of rituals they are following since from the ancient days, and other issues. Okay, so that will be learned by the kids from their elders, I can say. Okay, the kids, they learn from their father, mother, from his uncle, aunt. He might, he or she might learn from grandma and grandpas. Okay. So that is what happens in a society. Okay. So when we move further, so here we will going to learn the characteristics of a family. So different features. Okay, what the family includes, the different characteristics of family are: family, first one is family is universal, second one is it is the basic unit for all the social activities, then family is a continuous responsibility and social accountability, then fourth one is bringing up and nurturing their kids, that is also one of the characteristics, and teaches social behavior. The families, it teaches the social behavior to their family members, and last one is it instructs their traditions which a family member has to follow. Okay. So in next slides we will going to discuss these characteristics one by one. Okay. So first one is family is universal. Okay, so this particular family, okay, what we are talking about, okay, the group of people, yeah, the group of kinship people, okay, who shares their blood relationship, okay, they all live under a single roof. So that particular family, it is a universal, whatever the family concept we are having in India, same thing the family. Okay, the word family concept we can see in the Europe, and we can see in the modern European cities also. But sometimes the rituals may vary from one locality to another locality, or from one caste to another caste, but the concept of a family is same in all the parts of the whole world. Okay. So every family, they follow the fixed pattern. Issues like marriage system, nurturing their kids, kinship, the blood relationship, and property rights. So the generally the members who belong to a particular family reside in the same place, or a uh, same share the same roof. Okay, so that is what I was discussing about. Is then second feature of the family is it is the basic unit for all the social activities. Okay, so every activities of the social institution start from the family. The political, economical, educational, and the several other activities of the society begin from the family. Okay. As I told, okay, whatever the basic thing a kid or a child is learning, that he learns through his observation from the family members, okay, with whom he is living. Okay, so like the polity matters, the economical matters, how to spend the money and all those things, the education. Okay, so whatever the education his elders have got, okay, based on that it will observe and it will going to learn. Okay. Then several other activities begins from the family. Okay, so that particular kid, it learns from the family members. Okay. And so society, it teaches lot to the kids. Okay. Then third one is continuous responsibility and social accountability. The family teaches members how to behave and how to discharge the specific responsibilities. In a particular family, the elders, they teach to the youngest, okay, on the matters of how to behave in the society, how to behave with the elders, how to behave with the youngest, then how to behave with the society's high position peoples, like how to behave with the teacher, how to behave with the uh, elder people, okay, our senior citizen people, okay, and how to discharge the specific responsibilities. Okay, so these guys, they are having their own responsibility towards the every member of the society. Okay, so he is having some of the responsibilities which he has to follow in the schools and the colleges. He has some of the responsibilities in the family, and this particular family, it trains its children on how to live harmoniously with the neighbors. Okay, so the family itself teaches to their members, okay, how they have to relate, how to they have how good relationship they have to maintain with the neighbors. Okay, and how they have to live harmoniously, okay, maintaining a good relationship with all the members of the society. Or sometimes what happens when we talk about a society, it is a mixture of all the religion people. Okay, so although there are difference in the religions, so how one can live harmoniously with all the people. Okay, so that living harmoniously, and how you have to behave with the neighbors, so that will be trained by the uh, el- elder members of the family, like father, mother, elder brother. He teaches, okay, the children's, okay, on these all the matters. Okay, along with this, it also educates about a few social responsibilities. Okay, so the family, it also talks about it doesn't only talk about the how they have to behave with the neighbors, and how they have to behave with the how they have to live harmoniously with the other members of the society. It also teaches on the it also educates social responsibility. What are the social responsibilities this particular child has? They train on that, like this how to maintain the water cleanliness. Okay, how to how to use the public properties. Okay, all these things, okay, will be trained by this society. okay, or trained by the particular family, okay. And which is good and which is bad, okay. So about all the things will be uh, taught by the family members to their youngsters. So they teach what to do and what not to do, okay. So the elder family members, they teaches to the youngest like drinking alcohol is very injurious to the health, like smoking cigarettes is bad and all those things, okay. So killing the time is also one of the crime and all those things they teach, okay. So nowadays this in general you might be observing, okay, now or many of the students, they are addicting with the mobile phones and towards their games like the PUBG and all those things. So whenever you observe the family members, the elders of the family, they indicate them, okay, it is a bad thing whatever you are doing and all those things. So they try to make the changes in that particular children's, okay. So these are all thing, okay, educating on all these matters, okay, which are related to the family and which are related to the societal well-being, also taught by the families, okay. So the role of a family is very important here. Next, bringing up and nurturing, okay. So the another feature of the family is they nurture the family members, new members, whoever joining the family. It is the responsibility of the elders to nurture the kids, okay. And they have to take care of them, their children, and they have to protect them, and making them literate and making them a responsible citizen of a particular India is the responsibility of the family members. And when that particular kid passes his education life and when he gets into a family and all those things, again it's a responsibility of that particular guy to take care of his old age parents, okay. Whatever the how these parents have taken care of their kid, okay. So that in the same way they have to take care of their parents when they get old, okay. So next one is teaches the social behavior. So a family, it teaches the social behavior, okay. So the childhood and the adolescence are very important stages in the process of socialization. When we are talking about the socialization, how you have to be with the society, how you have to mingle, how you have to live with them. So in that this particular childhood and the adultness, okay, when adult, popularly I can say this teenagers. So that stage is very important thing, okay, to teach them socialization, okay. So in that particular age, if they learn good things, okay, so that can be carried out for throughout his life. A child learns a mother tongue in the family, okay. So whatever the mother tongue we are talking about, okay, so that we have learned from our family members. So whatever the mother tongue might be, okay, it might be a Kannada, it might be a Hindi, or it might be a Marathi, Gujarati. So that particular mother tongue will be observed and learned by the kids from their family itself, okay. So since from his birth it observes that particular words, and it tries to understand the meaning of that particular word, and it starts to pronouncing that particular mother tongue, okay. So the families are main responsible for teaching the mother tongue to their children, okay. So to learn the mother tongues, the children are not moving to the any coaching classes. Whatever the mother tongue they are learning, okay, whatever the Kannada we are talking today, that we have learned from the families, okay. So any educational institute or any coaching has not taught us the Kannada, okay. So whatever the Kannada talking, okay, Kannada language we know, So that we have learned from the family. Okay. The family teaches the children about the ways of interacting with the elders and peer group. As I told you, okay, how to behave with the elders, how to behave with the peer group. Okay, peer group is the group, okay, where group of people having a similar interest, okay, who are from your similar age kind of thing, and who are having the same interest. Okay, so that kind of people are known as the peer group. Okay, so this particular society teaches you how to live with the peer group and the elders. This means the social behavior, its demands and taboos indirectly control the children. The family teaches behaviors like friendship, freedom, security during the childhood, adultness, adulthood, and old age. So this particular family, it teaches the kid on the friendship matter, how you have to maintain the friendship with your friends. Okay, what type of friend you have to choose. Okay, what type of friend is good for your development and who is not good for your enhancement. Okay, so what type of friends you have to select in your life, that will be taught by the families. And how you have to enjoy the freedom and security during the childhood. Okay, so there are few things which you have to maintain in during your childhoodness. Okay, so that how they have to maintain their security thing will be taught by the particular family members. And adultness, how to deal with this particular teenage, will be taught by the family members. Okay, so always there will be a brother or sister who will guide you in that particular matters. Okay, and about old age, okay, how one has to deal with the old age or senior citizen people, that all the things we will going to learn from the society, or from the family first thing. Okay, again, it instructs the tradition. Okay, so this particular family, it gives instructs or instructions, you can talk on the tradition. So when we are talking about a family, it includes the several generations. Okay, so whenever we talk about one family, it includes the generations. Okay, it includes the children, their parents, their fathers or the grandfathers, like this. Okay, so it introduces the kinship. Okay, whatever the blood relationship they are having among all that particular chain, it outlines the relationship between grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, and siblings. It teaches that grandparents make the first generation. Okay, so when we are talking about the first generation, they may, the grandparents, they make the first generation, and the parents, they make the second generation, and the children what we are today, we make the third generation, like this. Okay, we can learn by this points. Okay, so when we are talking about the family of father, mother, and the children. Okay, so the family of father, mother, and the children, so that is the second generation family. Okay, so this is the second generation family we are talking about, where a second generation family is a family in which there is a father, mother, and a children. Okay, so that makes father, mother, and children, it makes the second generation family. And when we are moving to the third generation, so third generation of a family, it includes grandparents. Okay, it includes the grandparents, then it includes the parents and children's. Okay, so this particular third generation family is where we are having the grandparents, parents, and finally the children's. Okay, so again, the third one is the family that has a grandparents. Okay, and the parents, children's, and grandchildren's. So that particular family is called the extended family. Okay. So these are all the things which we wanted to discuss in today's class. Okay, so these are the resources which I have used for my images and for uh, to collecting the data, okay, related to this particular class. Okay, so again here one thing in the bringing up and nurturing. Okay, so how you will nurture your kids. Okay, so that particular thing, nurturing, it plays very vital role. Okay, so again what happens here is, okay, uh, the family members, how they are nurturing, okay, it affects on the society. So whatever today's generation we are having, they are the future uh, citizens of this particular country. Okay, so the guiding of or nurturing of the kids is very important. Okay, so to learn this particular point, bringing up and nurturing, so it is very important to learn about one of the tale story of birds. Okay, so by seeing that one, okay, you might have heard the stories in your childhood. uh, so that by that we can clear the concept of this bringing up and nurturing. Okay, so how this can create good and bad things in the kids minds. Okay, so let's play this particular video for you.
Two birds. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful bird in the forests of Udhampur, neighbors on a wise old banyan tree. She loved the forest for it provided ample food and places to fly around. One year, she gave birth to two little birds. The newborn lived in a nest she built on the tree. She cared for her babies deeply and loved them very much. The tree, too, spread out its branches on the babies. Day and night she cared for them and fed them well. Alas, one unfortunate day, the forest experienced a storm like never before. Thunder, lightning, strong winds scared all the birds and animals. Many trees got uprooted. The bird hid in her nest, trying to feel secure and praying fervently. Suddenly, a heavy and came crashing down. The bird was killed instantly. The kids were saved though. They were blown away by a gentler wind to the other side of the forest. One fell at the entrance of a cave. Many robbers lived inside this cave. The other sibling fell at the doorsteps of a blessed Rishi's ashram. Time slowly passed by and the birds gradually grew up. They were now big birds like their mother once had been. They had grown into mature birds with characters of their own. One fine day, King Harshvardhan of Purvasa visited the forest. He was a well-known hunter and wanted to hunt a game. He was busy chasing a deer and in the process went deep into the forest while chasing the deer. His soldiers slowly lost track and the king was left alone in the jungle. He didn't know where he was, and neither did he know the way out. The king was truly bewildered. He was tired after the long day and hungry too. He had reached the other end of the forest. He decided to take a break and sat down under a huge shady banyan tree. He was taken aback when he heard someone say, "Hey, come quickly! There's someone under the banyan tree. He has a horse and is wearing fine jewels. Take his things away before he rides away." The king looked around and could only see a bird perched on the tree. He could hear a commotion emanating from a cave. He lost no time in riding away to safety. He was relieved to see an ashram in a small clearing. He could see many ascetics going about their work. King Harshvardhan tethered his horse near the stream. Someone spoke up. "O mighty king, I welcome you to this holy place. You look tired. Please take rest. Rishi Agastya will be back soon. You can have this water. You do look thirsty." The king was overcome with gratitude. He looked at the bird. It looked very similar to the one he had seen some time back on the banyan tree. The bird read his thoughts and said, "I think you have recently come across my brother. He has made friends with the robbers and behaves like them. I am sorry if he misbehaved with you." The rishi entered the ashram and saw the king standing there. He welcomed the king warmly and invited him to the cottage for dinner. Over dinner, the king narrated his strange experience with the two look-alike birds. "This forest is unique and surprising." The rishi smiled knowingly. He said, "O king, one is known by the company one keeps. The bird you met in the morning has been in the company of robbers. The bird you met here has been in this holy place since a long time. He behaves like he watches everyone doing. Now come, don't spend any more time thinking about this. Take rest." Long after the king had returned to his palace, he kept thinking about the birds and the lesson they taught him unknowingly.
Once upon a time, there lived a farmer who is very poor. He was very much dedicated